Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian, and I'm streaming to you live from beautiful British Columbia, the capital city of Victoria, the most western province of Canada. I hope everybody is having a great week so far, staying healthy, staying strong, and staying productive. I am excited to bring you this class. We are looking at Task 2 writing today. We're going to talk about how to start that Band 9 essay. Hi, honey. Welcome to our members. Hi, Huda. It's good to see you as well after a long time. Ravi, good morning to you as well. Hello, be happy. Thank you, everyone, for joining. As usual, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS success. Visit us there. For the general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. That's generalieltshelp.com. On both of our websites, we have lots and lots of information to help you improve your communication as well as your English. And we have lots of writing help also. You can submit essays to us for marking and for editing through our editing services. This is our Academic IELTS website here with the blue background. You can click that big red button to join our premium package. It is a one-time payment for lifetime access, so well worth spending a few dollars. We're an IELTS registration center. We're British Council certified agents. And for general IELTS, visit us. Here it is, gieltshelp.com. Again, click that big red button. One-time payment for lifetime access. Hi, Jujin. I've missed your emojis. Panda cat. There we go. I hope everybody is doing great. All right, everyone. If you have questions, do not hesitate. Just send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com. We are happy to help. You can get our exam books from Amazon also. And we have more lessons for you coming up tomorrow. We have Task 1 and the remainder of this class. Task 2, writing body paragraphs and conclusion. And then we have speaking parts 2 and 3 for you on Saturday. So let's get into today's writing question. Just make sure that it fits on the screen here so everybody can see the full question. This Task 2 question was sent by one of our students. I think maybe they saw this on one of their exams. So we'll tackle this today. Now, when you get to the writing section, Task 2, definitely spend 40 minutes on that. It is a very important 40 minutes where you have to concentrate, do your best. And you need to write about 250 to 300 words at least. Sergey Rejvir, good to see you in the class. So here we go. IELTS Task 2 writing. You should spend about 40 minutes on this task. Definitely spend the time. Some people say that now that we can see films on our phones or tablets, there is no need to go to the cinema. Others say that to be fully enjoyed, films need to be seen in a cinema. Discuss both views and give your own opinion. Okay, so we have to talk about both sides and our opinion. So we're going to do that. And of course, as I just mentioned, you need to write at least 250 words. The word count's really important. When I did my IELTS exam, I actually wrote about 500 words for Task 2. And in hindsight, I kind of wish I didn't do that. I think it was overkill. I didn't get a Band 9 in my writing, but you'll see that in the IELTS series. I should have written a little bit less. 500 words, it's too much. I think I should have written closer to 300, 350, and spent more time on correcting some mistakes and making my essay more polished. So I'm going to teach you to do that in these classes. So I would say the question says write at least 250 words. My suggestion, 250 words is not really enough to get into the detail or the level of detail for a Band 9, but 500, like what I did, is definitely overkill, and you might end up with too many mistakes that will take away from your score. So ideally, write between 250 to 350 words. Okay, I think that's the right way to think about it. And make sure to spend, I would say, anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes. This is how you should practice at home, reviewing and revising your essay. Okay. Now, definitely, if you choose to do the computer-based exam, it's a little bit easier to do the revision. So that's one of the advantages of the computer-based exam. It's easier to go back and make spelling corrections, change some information, change grammar. So pay attention to that, okay? All right. And I think I should have spent more time on planning, too, to be honest with you, in my exam as well. So that's what I'm going to do the next time. So here we go. When we read the question, the first step is to identify the topic. Now, it's always a good idea to paraphrase the question as well. So let's do that together. Paraphrasing the question gives you clarity and vocabulary. So let's paraphrase this question. Paraphrasing means to write the question in your own words. This can become a part of your essay. It doesn't have to. It's definitely not enough for the introduction to just paraphrase, so you should do more, okay? All right, so paraphrase the question. So write this question in your own words, everyone. So some people say that now that we can see films on our phones or tablets, there's no need to go to the cinemas. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to paraphrase and then we'll compare. So okay, so there's my paraphrase. Let's see what you've come up with. Rajveer, very nice and fast. So Rajveer says, certain individuals argue that these days people have the option to watch movies on their smartphones or tablets rather than going to the cinema. Others ascertain that people should watch films in cinemas for better enjoyment. Very nice paraphrasing, Rajveer. Explain both views and give your own position. Yeah, good, Rajveer, that you paraphrase that as well, reminding you of the parameters for the essay, okay? Moria says, nowadays some individuals argue that movies can be watched on various devices. Now that movies can be watched on various devices, they do not feel the necessity to go to the cinema halls, while others claim that to have a unique experience, they ought to be seen in the theaters. Right. No period after halls, Moria. Careful with that. Otherwise, it's beautiful paraphrasing. Okay. Here's my paraphrase. Certain individuals take the position that since the advent of mobile media empowering people to view movies on their personal devices, there's no longer the necessity to go to the movie theater. However, opponents believe that in order to really appreciate films, they need to be seen in cinemas. Okay, so I've done it my way. Lots of ways to paraphrase and come up with a similar concept. Just make sure that you include all of the important information. Okay. Eldor says, what if I didn't understand the topic? Eldor, read the question again. Ask yourself, what is this question asking? Visualize it. You have to understand the topic. There's simply no way that you can write a great essay without understanding the topic. Okay, Honey says, a few people opinion that movies can be seen on tablets and mobile phones. Thus, the requirement to go to movie halls is a tradition of the past, while others still believe that to enjoy movies completely, moviegoers need to visit theaters. Okay, Honey, couple of corrections there. Careful with that. Okay. All right, everyone. So we've got the paraphrasing. So we've got some good vocabulary, especially if we combine all the paraphrasing that we've done. That's great. Let's identify the topics now. So what's the topic here? What are we talking about? Okay. So paraphrasing the question, check. That's done. Okay. So now identify the topic. And when you think about the topic, then you have to think about, what are we talking about? So what are we discussing here? Okay. Govind, there's no limit to writing the paraphrase. The paraphrase is mostly for you. It's not simply the introduction. Okay. So Moria says the topic is watching movies in the home or in the theater. I think that's a little bit combining, Moria, the topic and the controlling idea. Rahul says it's simply watching movies. Okay, Janil agrees. Janil and Rahul both agree that really we're talking about watching movies. Rashika says that too. Rashika says it in a different way, but same idea, movie watching. Okay, yeah, so watching films. Yeah, okay. And what's the controlling idea? So, what in connection to movie watching are we talking about? Okay. Kanak, it depends on your English and how much you prepare, how tough IELTS is going to be. It's definitely a challenging exam when you're going for a perfect score, certainly, for anybody, even native speakers. So what are we talking about when we're talking about watching films? So we're talking about watching films, and the controlling idea is kind of the next question. It's like, okay, we're talking about watching films. So what do we want to know about this idea of watching films? Watching films is a very broad topic. So, of course, the question is asking about a more specific component or perspective on watching films. Okay. So Rahul says to watch it on electronic devices or in theaters. Not bad, Rahul. I think we can be more specific. Okay. Rafia, no, I think that's off topic. Okay, Honey says whether to enjoy movies, the cinema is still needed or not. Close. Okay, Rajveer says to watch movies at home or to go to the cinema. Yeah, careful, Rajveer. They don't actually say the home, so they don't say TVs or they say devices like mobiles or tablets, so they're a little bit more specific here. Okay, but you're close. Here you want to be very, very accurate. Okay, so the controlling idea here is to fully enjoy movies. Theaters are necessary, or this can be done with personal devices. Okay. Would everybody agree that this is the more specific controlling idea, to fully enjoy? That's a very key word here, the word fully. Pay special attention to adverbs. Okay. When you see a question, you really want to pay attention to the adverb here, to be fully enjoyed, right? It's not just enjoyed. I bet we all like movies when we watch them on our phone or on our tablet, but the question isn't just talking about enjoying them, but others say that to be fully enjoyed. And this isn't me writing this question. It was the question out of, I believe, one of the IELTS exams, right? So that's a key part here, and it's dangerous to miss that element of the question, Okay, so to fully enjoy movies, theaters are necessary, or this can be done with personal devices. That's the key here. Okay, good. So we've done that. So now we need to ask some more questions. What's the next question that I need to ask myself to quickly plan my essay so that I have a good introduction, I have good information in my essay? What should I ask myself? Okay, so I've got some key questions. I certainly want to take about 5-6 minutes to plan my essay before writing. Again, I didn't actually, to be honest with you, in my last IELTS exam that I did, the official one, where I didn't get a perfect 9 on writing. I got perfect 9s on everything else except writing. This is the one step that I didn't really, okay, there was a thing I actually ran, or not ran, but I went to the washroom that wasted some of my time, especially since I had to use an elevator to go to the washroom. And so I didn't spend nearly as much time on my planning as I should have, nor on my review, and I regret that. I guess I can say that. So what should I ask myself? Okay. Rajveer says, which side should I support? Yeah, I think we're going to ask that eventually here. But before we state that, we should ask, what is watching film? Okay, so what does it mean to watch a film? Okay, and what's the answer to that? So before we decide which side I'm on, okay, I think that we're all going to pick the side quite quickly here. But before we do that, we need to actually think a little bit more deeply about what does it mean to watch a film, okay? So very good, okay? I like how, I think it was Janelle that took that basic step of saying, well, what does it actually mean to watch a film, okay? So what does it mean for you to watch a film? It might not be the same definition. We have to be careful here. Okay, so Canuck says watching it in the cinema can make us more social. I don't know about that. Possibly, but I think watching it in the cinema is quite a kind of a solo thing as well. It's a little bit more social for sure, but it's not the same as playing a board game, so it's still not as social, or going out for dinner. So not quite, Canuck. Okay. So what does it mean to watch a film? Okay, so Rajveer, very technical, says to process seeing a moving picture frame by frame on a screen. Okay, Saga says to get the plot and live that event like as if you engaged it. Dhruv says to get entertained. Notice all the different answers we have. Prathamesh says watching a video that is 2 to 3 hours long, entertaining. Yeah. Okay. I would say that it means to watch a story with visual and auditory, nowadays with other sensor if you're watching 4DX, but to watch a story with visual and auditory information on a screen. Okay, so that would be my most basic definition of what does it mean to watch a film. It's to watch a story with visual and auditory information on a screen. Would everybody kind of agree with me that if we looked up definition of movie watching or film in the dictionary, it might give us something like visual and auditory story seen on a screen of some sort, right? So that would be the definition, right? That's what we're talking about, all right? Now, the next question, and some of you are answering this question, is why do people watch movies? What's the answer to that? Again, a very important question. And sometimes the answers are not as clear or not as detailed as you might first think. Okay, so a lot of you says to be entertained, but can you give me more information than that? So for entertainment or enjoyment, sure. But I don't think that's the only reason that we watch movies. What else comes to mind? Okay, Moria says for relaxation, so for entertainment and enjoyment, for relaxation. Okay, what else comes to mind? I know that personally, I don't just watch movies for entertainment or relaxation. I watch it for other reasons as well. Okay, very good, Preeti. So Preeti says we also do it for knowledge, for information, right? So we watch history, documentary movies for knowledge. Yeah, it's not just... Okay. What else? I know that one other idea comes to mind. So Rashika says education as well. Very good. Think about movies. So here, this is students where you want to think about examples. So think about examples of movies that you have seen. And I'm sure that's what some of you are doing right now. So some of you are thinking, yeah, okay, I watched that comedy because it was entertaining. It made me laugh. I watched that documentary because it gave me really good information. I watched that movie because it allowed me to spend time with others. Okay, so sure. And I think there's one more reason that that we watch movies as well. Okay, so Canuck says Jumanji, that would be a comedy, that would be for entertainment. How about a love story? Okay. Why would you watch that? So why would you watch a love story that might not have a lot of comedy in it? Or why would you watch a drama? What does that do for people? And it's a big one, so it's good to think about that. So why would you watch a drama film or a love story? Okay, or some kind of an interesting tragedy that you might watch that doesn't have a happy ending. Okay, why would you do that? And some of the most famous movies are in these genres, and we watch them, like The Titanic, for example. We talked about that in the reading class we just had, and there's a very famous movie, The Titanic, and it's definitely entertaining, but it's not a comedy. I would say that also for emotional reasons, right? So to socialize, to feel powerful emotions. Would you agree? Yeah, so there we go. Andre says for feelings, right? So feelings of character, for empathy. Would you agree that one of the reasons we watch movies is to feel these emotions, feel the emotion of sadness, of love, to feel that empathy? And we enjoy feeling that empathy. It doesn't have to be relaxation. It doesn't have to be comedy. It can be sadness. It can be love. It can be other emotions as well, right? So I think we would all agree with that. Okay. All right, cool. So now, the next question, of course, is how do movies work? How are they experienced by the audience? And this is where we can have a lot of different answers. Again, you want to think about these really quickly while you're planning your essay. So watching them on different media, phones, theater, they are created by a team of people, actors, directors, editors. Okay, so that's the idea, and then they're published, they're put to screen, and we watch them. Okay, good. So now, the next question. So we've thought about the topic, we've thought about watching films, and so now we move into the next important questions where we ask and we think about the controlling ideas. Again, this is happening very quickly in the first 5 minutes of your task 2 writings, okay? So what's the next question that I want to ask? So here you want to start thinking about your controlling idea. So ask questions around the controlling idea. And here the controlling idea, of course, is watching movies on your mobile phone or on your tablet versus going to the theater. So what's the big difference? What's the big difference of watching them on our tablets versus watching them in the movie theater? Okay, what's the question here? And that's the question. So okay, so what would that be? Okay, so Be Happy says enjoying them alone. You might watch it with a friend on your tablet. It's possible. Okay, so Utkaraj says big screens. Okay. Big screens, big sound, right? Mummy says comfortable. Okay. Sure. So Natalie says simply put quality, the quality of the movie. Okay. You're going to have a more quality experience. Okay. Preeti says we can watch them whenever we want to. Rashika says great sound. Okay, and I think there is still one more difference. So again, if I visualize myself, and this is where visualization is very powerful. Okay, so Rana says watching them on the tablet. So let's say tablet mobile. It's convenient. It's cheap, sure. Okay. There's one other key difference that I found in my life, anyway. Very good, Rahul. Rahul, you get my super thumbs up for the day because I think that's what, and Zufa right after from a different perspective. So Rahul says attention to the film. Or tablet, we can say disturbance, right? Yeah, I agree. So when we go to the movie theater, we're there with people. There's a culture to it. There's an etiquette. You know, they ask you to turn your phones off while you're in the movie theater. You're not going to get a notification in the middle of the film going, bing, 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 bing. You just got a new email. Your friend just liked your photo on Instagram and so on. And you're pausing and you're checking and you're continuing. When you're in the movie theater, you sit in your seat. You're there to watch the movie. You put your phone on airplane mode or you silence it and you watch the film. You immerse yourself. It's called immersion. You immerse yourself in the movie, right? As opposed to the tablet or the phone, you've got a lot of distractions and you're going along with the film. But I bet that a lot of you will agree that it's rare that you ever sit and watch a movie on your phone or on your tablet with the same kind of attention that you do in the movie theater. And that's very important point to remember here. Okay, so now let's go back to that question, right? So this is where you, of course, immediately reflect on the original question. And the question is, now that we can see films on our phones or tablets, there's no need to go to the cinema. Others say that to be fully enjoyed, films need to be seen in cinema. So in this case, now that you've really thought about this, what do you think? So what do you believe? That there's no need for cinema, or cinema still has a place in the world? And if you take your girlfriend, boyfriend, your wife on a date, it's still better to go to the cinema than to say, hey, I've got a really cool movie on my phone. You want to watch it? Of course, these days, COVID, you don't really have the choice. Most movie theaters are closed or not in operation, at least not that I know of. But I bet a lot of us are excited and hopeful of the near future that we can go back to the movie theater. Oh, I bet you when movie theaters are open again, they're going to be really busy for the first few months. I bet you people are dying to see a silver screen movie. So, okay. So Rajveer says, going to the cinema is an obligation to fully enjoy movies. Moria says, yeah, it's probably true that theaters are much better if we really want to enjoy a movie. And I know that most of us, historically, when we have a movie that we've really been waiting for, then we spend that extra money, we go to the theater, and that's where we watch it because we're like, oh, I was so excited to see this movie. You're not like, well, I'll just wait for it to come out and watch it on my tablet. And for some films, yeah, but not for the ones that you're really waiting for, right? Okay, yeah, you just want that big experience, right? That focused attention. So, all right, so here, the side theaters are still important for fully enjoying films because... So what would be the 2 points here? So what would be the 2 points that you would emphasize in your essay? Okay, so you're saying theaters are still better. Some people really love the popcorn. I see that. So what are the 2 points? So theaters are still important for fully enjoying films because, and I think it was Natalie that said this, because they offer both better quality and what? So what would be 2 good points? Rahul says immersive experience. So better quality and immersive experience. Look at that beautiful vocabulary. Thank you, Rahul, for that. Absolutely. So theaters are still important for fully enjoying films because they offer both better quality and immersive experience than using personal devices. Yeah, sure. All right, so from this, we now have basically our thesis statement. So that is going to be the last sentence of your introductory paragraph, and you have some really clear direction now. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's put together an introduction, everyone. So now that we have all this information, and it seems like, you know, we took a while to get to this, but again, in the official IELTS exam, you want to take about 7-8 minutes to get to this point in your thinking and in your writing. Okay. And especially in the computer-based, you can actually really just type through all of this, okay? So you can think through the questions and you can type out your paraphrasing and your thesis statement like this, okay? All right. Eldor, cinemas are not going to not disappear because they're big business. They're not going to disappear because people enjoy them, okay? All right. So here we go, everyone. So introductory paragraph. Okay, 3 parts: hook, background, and thesis. Those are the 3 points. The hook is simply a short, let's say 10-word sentence that catches your reader's attention, introduces the topic of watching movies, and get your reader focused. So give me the hook here. Write a hook. I'm going to write the same, and then we'll compare it, right? Okay. That's my hook right there. It's maybe a little bit more than 10 words, but I've kept it fairly simple and clear. Let's see what you come up with. Hopefully you come up with something a little bit more creative than what I've come up with. But Again, IELTS is not rocket science. It doesn't have to be amazing. It just has to be clear, accurate. Okay. Rahul, it's too long. Think about a simpler, shorter hook. Okay. Rashika says, the habit of watching films has continued for centuries. Rashika, I don't know about that. I mean, films are relatively new. They've really been only around since the late 19th, 20th century. And I know we're in the 21st, but they've really only been around for about 150 years. So careful with the reality part of what you're saying. Okay. Be Happy says, in this day and age, watching movies has been of great pleasure for everyone. It's not bad. Okay. Janelle says, watching movies are one activity of our life. Yeah, Janelle, it's not bad. I would say it a little bit differently. Janelle, I would say watching movies are a common activity for people in life. Yeah, that's true. Most of us, if not all of us, around the world watch movies at some point, or almost all of us, I guess we could say. Rajveer says, millions of individuals use different modes to watch films. Yeah, okay. I think, again, Rajveer, it's okay. It's quite simple, like mine. I think mine's a little bit simple as well. Okay, Rahul, that's much better. So Rahul says, the evolution of media has enabled individuals to enjoy movies both on personal devices and in theaters. Very good, Rahul. Little correction. Personal devices and in theaters. Okay. Munvi says, for the hook, very nice. I like, Munvi, how you did the H and then a little dash. That's good. It's very clear. So there are various modes to watch films, like in the theater and on personal gadgets. Very good, Munvi. I like it. So you just introduce it as it is, right? We watch movies on personal devices and in theaters. Okay. Yeah, very good, Moria. So Moria says, watching films is a hobby for most people around the world. Very nice. So very nice introduction of the topic and grabbing the attention of the reader. Very nice, Moria. Okay. Kanwar says, everyone loves to watch movies, although the mode of watching them has changed over time. Yeah, Kanwar, that's good. Just watch your grammar. You don't want to make mistakes in your hook. You don't need the comma there, okay? Ranwa says, in the modern era, everyone wants to entertain themselves with movies, period. That's it, Ranwa. Take out the rest of that. It's awkward and confusing. Zufa says, in today's world, humans indulge in watching movies to relax and learn. Okay, take out the enjoy, because indulge, Zufa, means to enjoy usually, or to participate for enjoyment usually. So you don't need to enjoy. It's a little bit redundant. Okay. Honey, very nice. So Honey says, over the years, watching movies have changed from cinemas to include watching them on personal devices. Yeah, Honey, very good. Okay, I see that you fixed it a little bit too. Good job, everyone. Mine's a little bit complex, but it's okay. Millions of people around the world love to watch films on both their mobile devices as well as in the cinemas. We do, right? I mean, we watch them on both, usually. Okay, good. So background. A background is a definition. Okay, and you have to be selective here, so you don't want to write too much, but you want to explain to your reader what you're really talking about here. Okay. And here I would be thinking to explain to my reader to fully enjoy film. Okay. And the importance. So why are we talking about this? Now, ideally, you want to kind of practice doing this in one sentence. So don't write too long of a background. I'm kind of changing my strategy. In the past, I used to say you can write a couple sentences, but now I say try to do it in one sentence so you don't drag out your introduction too long. In university, it's a good idea to be a bit more descriptive in your introduction. On the IELTS, however, you want to be a little bit more concise with your introduction. Okay, so be concise. Do this in one sentence. Okay. So, what is the definition? What are we talking about? Don't overthink it. All you have to do here, and this is where planning is key. So, all you have to do for fully enjoying film is going back to those questions about the what, why, how. So, we went over the what does it mean to watch a film, a story with visual and auditory information. So that we can use for the definition. And then the importance of it is entertainment, enjoyment, relaxation. So you can combine those elements and come up with a really effective background sentence in your introduction. Is everybody clear on how the background evolves from your planning and how you can do that? Okay. Can everybody give me a sentence for that? Moria says, to completely experience cinema theaters, it's much better to have technology and ambience. All right, Moria, it's on the right path. Okay, Rahul says, in older times, only theaters were the only option to enjoy films. However, these have been enlarged in recent times to watch them on personal devices. Ravi says, watching movies on personal devices or in theaters have sparked much debate. I don't know if that's true, Ravi. Have they really? Like, do we really debate watch? Maybe a little bit. Rashika says, many individuals tend to spend their leisure time watching movies because it makes them happy and helps them unwind. Okay, Rashika, that's good. Okay. So, yeah, Rashika, I would kind of do something along the lines of what you're doing. So I would write something like, okay. So yeah, so I would write something like that in one sentence, okay? Watching stories told through incredible sound and picture offered by films has become a favored pastime for most people, and audiences seek the best ways to do this, right? That's what we're always after. We're always after the best ways to enjoy films, okay? All right. Rajveer says it is an activity to watch visual and auditory information on the screen, which helps individuals to relax and socialize. Yeah, okay. Kanwar, yeah, Hook paraphrasing Thesis is not bad. I think that's a good strategy as well, because oftentimes your paraphrasing is very close to the background. So if you want to simplify it, Kanwar, you can go Hook paraphrasing Thesis. Yeah, okay. Janelle says, nowadays, due to technological advancements, people are watching movies either in theaters or on personal gadgets to unwind, period. Not their moods, Janelle, just unwind. Unwind means to relax, okay? That's it. And then now we stick in the thesis. So I have my thesis, so all I'm going to do is tweak it a little bit. Okay. So there we go. So there's my introduction, okay, with a little bit of tweaking. The thesis, be happy, is your position. It's your argument. So here's my full introduction. Let's read this after we read the question, and you'll see how it kind of makes sense, okay? So here we go. And this is basically the first 10 to 15 minutes of your 40 minutes for task 2, okay? Once you have this information, once you have a good introduction, the rest of your essay is going to flow nice and smooth. So here we go. IELTS task 2 writing. You should spend 40 minutes on this task. Some people say that now that we can see films on our phones or tablets, there's no need to go to the cinema. Others say that to be fully enjoyed, films need to be seen in a cinema. Okay. Millions of people around the world love to watch films on both their mobile devices as well as in cinemas. Watching stories told through incredible sound and picture offered by films has become a favored pastime for most people, and audiences seek the best ways to do this. Although people often watch movies on personal devices for various reasons, I think theaters are still important for fully enjoying films because they offer both better quality and immersive experience than using personal devices. Okay, now that I have this, I want to clean this up. So this is what I mean about reviewing it, removing redundancy, word repetition, and cleaning it up, okay? So here, what I would do is I would just take out this whole part because I talk about mobile phones and devices often throughout the introduction. So millions of people around the world love to watch films. Great. Okay. Instead of watching, because I just used watching, so seeing stories told through incredible sound and picture offered by films, I don't need that, we've got the topics, has become a favored pastime for most people, and audiences seek the best ways to do this. Although some people often watch movies on personal devices, let's put a comma in after that, for various reasons, I think theaters are still better rather than important for fully enjoying films because, let's fix the missing Y there, they offer both, I don't need better now because I have it before and it's better worded, quality and immersive experience. And I don't need the rest of this. Okay, so it's more concise, it's cleaner, it's still got all of that information, it's accurate. Now I've got a Band 9 introduction, right? So that's how it looks, and if I take out this sentence that's descriptive here, then it's only about 40 to 50 words, okay? All right? Be happy, there's no special rule for how many lines you should write, but it should be about 3 sentences. So that's our introduction. And then now we can write the body paragraphs and the conclusion. And we're going to do that together tomorrow at the same time, okay? So, and I'm going to show you, of course, step by step, just like I did with the planning and introduction, on how to do that. So same time tomorrow. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out with me. I kind of hope that, you know, I'll see you back here tomorrow for the rest of the lesson so you can really get the complete idea. At the same time, for lots more help, lots of videos, lots of lessons for writing, join our premium package at aehelp.com for academic IELTS. GIELTShelp.com for general IELTS. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access, and it doesn't cost all that much at all compared to the actual IELTS test, so I highly recommend it. You're very welcome, Nico. Preeti, same time tomorrow for this lesson. The members chat lesson is 90 minutes before, okay? Thanks so much for your support, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Special thanks to all of our members also. You can also find our schedule on our community posts. It's in UTC time, everyone, okay? All right. Much love to all of you. I'm Adrian signing out from Budapest. I'm not in Budapest anymore. From Victoria, Canada. Still in my head. I have to change over. So hopefully I'll see you again here in Victoria tomorrow. Bye for now, everyone.